start the interview.
But it's cool. When day you play this depressing music.
That's not depressing.
Yes,
no, that's not depressing. That's not depressing.
Separated.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That I used to listen to only during heartbreak.
Exactly.
But that's the real thing.
No.
I mean, no. But you always singing it though.
Yeah.
So I found one song that you all would have identified that you know.
In the past, and I would say, taking into the interview, yes, because at times that we are better off separated, That's how we feel about crime in this country.
So you realize that I would have lined up that song. That song was lined up to go straight into the interview,
All right.
So let's go into it. Good morning, Jeanelle. We go again, and my guests will introduce themselves. So I have I'll introduce the guests, right? Because, long time I haven't seen the young lady in blue. So I want to take privilege to introduce her today. I hope I remember your name, though. But we have counselor for the Belmont
East.
Yeah, Belmont East, Miss Nicole Young. I always thought that she was family to Minister Young, but I got to find out that they're no relation. But Nicole has been here before, and we have with us a young lady who used to host a show here before. And I tried to remember, I've got your name just...
That's okay. I am Jeanelle Sabastien.
Jeanelle.
Yes.
Jeanelle Sabastien. How are you?
I am well, thank you. Today I am here representing our unit within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, known as the Victim and Witness Support Unit. Right. I am one of the supervisors at the unit. I am the supervisors for operation.
The supervisor for operations.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about operations. What does your job entail?
Well, what do we do at the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Victim and Witness Support Unit? Just as the name says, we support victims and witnesses of crime.
Right.
So we would have been established as part of the Police Service Transformation Act in part of the Police Service Transformation Act in 2008. And oftentimes when a crime occurs in the past, what would have happened is that the victim was left undone. Right. Because in the pursuit of justice, we would go after the offenders as in the police service, and nothing is wrong with that because justice has to be served. But the person who would have been left undone was the victims and witnesses of crime. So our unit was established to offer that counseling, psychosocial, and all sorts of support, especially also the follow-up in terms of the investigative support to victims and witnesses of crimes. Because at times, you may be trying to follow up what's happening with my case, and we are that link, we are the bridge, and we are that friendly face, within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the Victim and Witness Support Unit.
And I see you teaming up with the counselor for Belmont East to work with her to get this unit functional in her community. So you want to tell us what made you want to do something like this in your community?
Okay, well, there are several reasons, but the main reason is I'm on the ground. I always interact with my residents. They come to my office, they reach out to me via WhatsApp, phone calls, etc. And as a counselor, as a representative of Belmont East and Belmont in general, I know that my people are hurting.
Wow.
And there are persons who would have actually said, counselor, this actually happened. Counselor, I have 5 children and I honestly want to kill myself. And I had to talk her down. We don't want that, right? There's a young man who I can think of right now. He's unemployed and he's going through a hard time and he's literally in a state of depression. There's people who... last year, was it the year before, 2021, there was a very heinous crime right in Belmont. One of the young ladies was raped and her aunt was sexually assaulted. The young lady, I believe she got support, but the aunt, she did not. And she is literally going through, she has post-traumatic stress disorder. You could tell by the symptoms she's telling me she's experiencing. So I know that people within Belmont and environs need that psychosocial support. So as somebody who also, this is something that I'm passionate about because I'm actually doing my master's right now in counseling psychology. So I'm very passionate about it. And giving that mental health support. Because I think a lot of times we don't value mental health care in this country as much as we ought to. And I think honestly mental health is such a pivotal part of your well-being. Even, I won't say more than physical health, but it's just as important as physical health. Because think about it this way: you may have a broken limb, you break your arm, you break your leg, you put on a cast, it heals. But emotional wounds, they cut so much deeper, and they take so much longer to heal, if ever, properly. So we can't forsake that. So essentially, seeing that and understanding that a lot of people are in pain, hurting, I reached out to the Victim and Witness Support Unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and they love the idea because they recognize the importance of it too. And here we are with Project Phoenix.
You know, I listened, and I know that not that you would have omitted it or not have it in the discussion, but when I hear Victim and Support Unit, I'm being honest with you, I think about domestic violence. I think about women looking for some sort of way out of a situation, an abusive situation, and they don't know who to trust, they don't know who to turn to, because at the end of the day, they feel as though they are in a situation that there's no hope of finding any solution to. So while I understand where you talked about, and there are people who are faced with situations like what you would have pointed out, but my mind would have juggled around abuse, and not just women, but there are men who are in abusive relationships, and they think that, hey, this is a dead end. Coming out and talking about it too is a no-no, because you would look down at me, you would think that, hey, what is big guy talking about he getting abused mentally?
And so, you know, Google, you raised a very vital and pivotal point. The abuse, hurt, trauma, those are the words that, you know, kind of lead, and that will lead to other crimes that happen. Right. And, you know, so Project Phoenix is a co-creation between, you know, Councillor Ms. Young as well as the Victim and Witness Support Unit, because we see it as a need to, you know, to go in and move into the communities, because coming out from the crime summit last week, what was pivotal was we were really happy to hear our leaders, our regional leaders, talk about the effects of crime and crime that is left undone, and what it means for our community. Because for us, and like for me personally, one of the things that I normally say is that, and you know, persons might look at me wrong when I say this, that we don't really have a crime problem in Trinidad and Tobago, but what we have are crime families, and we have to fix the families, we have to fix the individual. These are the things that lead to more things happening. And if it is that we have the resources to an extent, we have when I say the extent, I mean we have the personnel, we have the persons who are passionate, we have the professionals that are able and ready to, and that are capable to help you. And the services provided by the Victim and Witness Support Units are indeed free. We do see all types of victims and witnesses of crime. So yes, it may be, at the beginning when we first started, we only saw domestic violence and sexual offenses. But what we would have realized that those are not the only crimes that people are hurting. You would be surprised just being involved in a road traffic accident, you know, because that creates a level of trauma. Somebody walks up to you and, you know, an assault is like, I walk into your face and I threaten you and I raise my hand. That's an assault. So that in itself creates all sorts of, it stirs up, or it triggers, as we would say, something that is happening. And if it's left undone, and if you do not deal with it and you don't get the support or the help you need with it, that is what might make you decide, you see me, I go in and pick up a gun, you see me, I go in and slap you. And this is the reason that we are coming to the communities. You know, unfortunately for us in this country, almost every day is something terrible is happening. And most of the times people just do not know where to go. So this morning, you know, we are happy to partner with the councillor so that we could say that, you know, right here in your community in Belmont, if you don't feel, because there are persons who don't feel comfortable coming into the beautiful Trinidad and Tobago Police Service stations, but what we are saying is that come in, you know, make the report, there is support. So we say you report, we support. And, you know, even if you do not want to come into the station, starting next week Wednesday from 9 o'clock and every Wednesday going forward, there will be a Victim and Witness Support officer at the Belmont Community Station Center where you can come in and seek counseling. You know, we have our number, Nicole will share the other one, but our number is 612 12-25-77 is the number for the Victim and Witness Support Unit head office, and you can always reach out for, because we are located in all 9 divisions of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and throughout Trinidad and Tobago, so you can receive counseling anywhere in Trinidad and Tobago for absolutely free. Just report your crime, and even if you're afraid to report the crime, call us and we will help you, walk you through that, that we will walk you through the process so that you can get that crime reported. In the Port of Spain district, so all the guidance councils of the Port of Spain district are also aware of it, so they also have that resource within their network to know, okay, within Belmont there's a Project Phoenix where it's located at the Belmont Community Center. So yes, the children will be aware, the principals will be aware, are aware, etc. I just want to say one thing. The Victim and Witness Support Unit, yes, they're the main partner, but there are also other partners, other volunteer counselors who will be giving service as well.
Seeing that here,
yeah, so a lot of people are on board, and not only counseling. So counseling is fundamental, but a main part of our mandate is youth programs,
right,
and also training workshops, even for adults. So currently, I'm in talks with the Office of the Prime Minister and the Gender Affairs Unit to start a men's group in Belmont, because men need support, and a lot of times men don't seek it. But if you come into the community, they're willing to come into the community, and through maybe football groups, etc., so the men feel a little more comfortable and have that men's zone where men could talk about issues in a safe space with no women allowed, just a man's space, but maybe giving them proper ways to deal with anger, because a lot of men are hurting but they don't know how to release it properly. So that's what we're working on as well. And then there's a young lady who's willing to have a workshop for the single mothers.
Right.
So we're targeting different groups, and of course I will let Jeanelle speak out on the Victim and Witness Support Who's Writing Your Story program, which is for teenage boys, but the Pineapple Foundation, for instance, they are also under the umbrella of this Project Phoenix Belmont. They will be offering mentorship program for teenage girls. So we're targeting men, single mothers, teenage girls, teenage boys, different segments of the community, to really give them that tailored support. Absolutely.
So you were saying that you would tell us about a program that you have.
So, well, not me, but the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Victim and Witness Support Unit. So what we would have started in 2020, actually, March 2020, we started a program called Who's Writing Your Story. And the fundamental element of Who's Writing Your Story is just, to let persons out there understand that they are the persons who are the author of their fate. They write their story. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter who you are, where that story begins. You can determine the destination, because life is just a series of choices. And so we just want to help persons, guide them through training and through the mentorship and the different parts of it. So Who's Writing Your Story from the Belmont, out of the Project Phoenix, will be the 4th installment of Who's Writing Your Story that we would have done that we will be doing. So it will target young men between the ages of 11 and 17,
right,
because we understand, just as you said, that men don't always have a space to go. And for us, we know that, we have to help the young people. If we could save this generation, we could fix Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
And so sometimes, that old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, we're going to be there to help and support for those who want, but we want to make sure that our young people, especially our young men who sometimes feel that it's okay to just be angry and to walk around just being mad at the world, we want to be able to help them know that there's a space. So at the Victim Support Unit, Who's Writing Your Story, we have 4 components. The first component is that development and personal development. So we will do a series of programs that will span about 10 months that will talk to them about personal development and different things that will help. The topics will be, we deal with trauma, how to deal with trauma, how it is, what we do when we feel anxious, because we just want to give them the tools, because having the tools to face life will make life a little bit safer and easier to deal with. The second component is also the mentorship program as well, pattern persons and be able to mentor. And then another critical part of that program is the parenting, because sometimes if we fix the children, or I don't want to say fix, but we work with the children and we give them the tools, but then they go back home to places that are just not dealt with, that trauma exists. And that's why I say we have crime families, so we have to be able to fix the families. We have to fix one individual at a time, as a child, and we fix the families, and then hopefully we can really just fix the community, the society, and of course it spans to fixing the whole of Trinidad and Tobago, and it just starts.
What was the numbers again? Just give out the numbers as they'll be winding down, because I see the time is already on me.
So persons can call 612-2577.
Say that again.
612-2577 or 745-3237. Again, 745-3237.
And if someone wants to get in contact with the services that you all offer, so it's the same number?
So 612-2577. That's the main direct number for our victim and witness support. And let me also give you one of our cell numbers, so that this number, the 612 number, is one of those numbers that was only operational Monday to Friday. Yes, we'll take the message, but you can call at 689-3617. That's, you can send a WhatsApp to that number so that we can also respond.
Say it one more time.
689-3617.
Okay, let me thank you all very much for being with me today.
Thank you for having us.
And I hope that you all do get calls. I believe you all will get calls, because there are people who really need the help and the support that you all are offering.
I can tell you that person's already reached out to me, so I know that people are in need and they're willing to take and utilize the service.
All right, so thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And we talk to you again very soon. All right?
Thank you.
Thank
all right,
you.
you give us an update on how things went or going in the community. All right, thank you very much again.